welcome to my makeup trial. I would say tutorial, but I'm no expert, so I'm just going to show you basically what I do to put my makeup on when I want to go out. But I'm going to use all max&more products apart from my foundation, which is the Wake Me Up Rimmel London foundation, best foundation I've ever used. I'm using a slightly darker colour than I usually do, as I have quite a dark tan at the minute, even though the light is making me really washed out. I also have a different eyebrow pencil, as I didn't see any that were dark enough in the max&more range for me. And there was like literally only one on the shelf, so I'm not 100% sure whether they've got a range of them or what, but there was only one on the shelf. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some concealer on. I'm using the Concealer Highlight and Contour Cream Kit, and I'm using the lightest shade to go over my moles, just to lighten them because they really show up. And just here, because I get really bad red patches, so I always put a white concealer on first, and then I usually add a yellow concealer to take away the redness, and then roughly my shade concealer over top, just to blend it in slightly. But my foundation is so good, it just covers over it all. You don't have to be particular about it. So this foundation is honestly the best I've ever used. So this is my foundation. I use this brush. I've got some foundation on there. I put a little bit on the back of my hand, and then I dab my brush in it, and we just apply it all over. So I then use my fingers just to blend in the edges, just to make sure it's completely and utterly blended. Sorry, the door shut. As you can see, I look kind of white now. But it does actually match this shade for some reason, because it's like in my mirror it looks fine, but in the camera it looks a lot lighter. The next step is I'm going to use the Highlight Contour and Blush Kit. I don't do much contouring, I'm useless at it, so I'm not even going to begin to pretend I know what I'm doing. I will just show you roughly what I do, and we'll see how it goes. So the first thing I normally do is I normally take just a little bit of the concealer in the powder, and we just take a little bit over these moles again. See, they're still showing through. They're really dark. There's not really much I can do about them, but just to cover it, put a little bit over there. That's all I can try and do, really, to be quite honest. The next thing is I like to use a highlighter. I just use this brush, which is quite big compared to what most people use, but I use the edge of it so it's kind of straighter. Wow, that highlight is really sparkly. This is a lot sparklier than my normal highlighter. I don't normally use this one. Normal one I use actually from Poundland, and it was this one. It's just this highlighter at the top. It's pretty good. It's not very bright. I'm not good at highlighters or contours or anything like that. Even though I went to college to do beauty therapy, makeup was not my strong point. Not too bad at it on myself, but on other people, it just never comes out quite how I imagined. The next thing I do is I get one of the darker colours and I just nothing major, and then we use my go-to trusty giant brush to blend it all in. So that's my contour. It's kind of hard to see in the mirror there. And choose my fingers just to blend it in a little bit more where I can see that there's an issue. Right. Finally, we're going to go in with the highlighter again. And what I call my short stubby brush. Now it's a little bit dyed because I've been using it on my eyebrows. But we're going to take what's called my short stubby brush and just take it up the inside of my eyebrow there, which we'll be going over again after. But we're going to take this. Now, like I said, I'm using all the palettes. Sorry, my dog's crying, she wants to get out of the room. I'm using all my palettes from the Max&more range. So this is a different blusher to what I would normally use. I normally use quite a bright blusher. So this one's quite muted. So I'm going to go with the darker shade. We're going to go with this one and see how it comes out. So it's not very bright at all, it's not very pinky, there's not much pigment to it. I would definitely probably not use this if you want quite a drastic look with your highlighter, not your highlighter, your blusher. But if you want a more muted look, it's actually perfect. It does give a slight little bit of a pink tint, but nothing major. So I'm going to go in with the Max&more grey eyeshadows, the silvery colours. I'm going to kind of do more of an evening look. This is what I would normally wear out. I don't wear makeup in the day very often anymore, so I've more practice at evening makeup, so we'll go with that. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do with my eyes is I'm going to take a little bit of my primer. Now, the best thing with my primer is to use your finger to put it on. So that's on. Use it sparingly, because if you use too much, then it cakes really bad. Just leave it for a second, let it just soak in a little bit, and it's a really, really good primer. I am now going to put on the base, which for this look, I'm going to put a bit of pink on. With a soft fluffy brush. I have no name for these brushes, I don't know, I got just a couple of different sets and I just use them all. I have no names for them. But anyway, with the same brush now, I pretty much use the same brush for all of my eyeshadow. I'm going to go in with this shade here, the sort of light silver. And then I'm going to go in with this shade here. Now this one isn't actually that pigmented, which is kind of good, so it's kind of difficult to make a mistake really. But then I'm going to go in with a fluffier, slightly larger brush, not that one, this one. Which I always use on my things where it's dyed a bit black. There we go. Then I am going to go in on the inner edge with the white. And the next thing I do is I do just the waterline, just below the waterline, with the silver that's in the middle. Like this. And that is the base of my eyeshadow. Now, it's not brilliant. I'm not great at it. I sort of just settle for however it comes out. But I do have a few little things that I do that seem to make it look a bit better. For starters, I'm going to put this on in my waterline, just in here. And I will be back because I know a lot of people get a bit funny about that. So that's my eyeliner on. I've done a little tiny bit of a flick. But then I'm going to use my blender and just blend it in slightly. Now, it makes a big difference to the flick at the end of the eyelashes because I don't wear false lashes. Now, something I didn't show you in the other video was this. It's the Max&more. It's actually the waterproof volumizing mascara. Now, I've been using it for a few weeks now and it's brilliant. I'm in love with this mascara. It is one of the best mascaras I've ever used. There we go. As you can see, my eyelashes are like quite thick now. That's just first layer. I usually put 2 on. So that's that. That's my eyes pretty much done. Now we're going to go do my eyebrows. Like I said, I use a different make for that. I'm going to go do them and then I'm going to come back as that's not really anything to do Max&more. And then we will go on to the lips. So a tiny bit of time has passed since I was just on the camera. For you it was only a few seconds, but for me I just had my tea. It's getting a little bit late. I was doing this for so long. It was like 9 o'clock before my tea. So, okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have a go at this highlighter. And this is the really bright highlighter. I'm just going to put it up here. It's on pretty quick and pretty smooth. It's quite a nice highlighter. Again, somebody who is better at makeup might come out a bit better than mine, but there we go. So that's that. I'm going to put a little bit of highlighter here now with the cream highlighter. And I'll use my finger for this because I don't have any brushes. I don't have beauty blenders or anything. To be honest, I never went in for the beauty blender craze, and I know they're brilliant, but I just never really saw any like good ones. There was like some weird silicone-y ones which apparently were really good, but as somebody said, they're kind of like sticking chicken fillets on your face, so I'm not sure whether I would have liked that. But anyway, I think I'm also going to go in with the pink again, the pink blusher, and just maybe see if putting a little bit more on might darken it slightly. It's still a bit bright for me, a bit light for me. There you go. It's a little bit brighter now. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of highlighter on my nose, like so. And that is the base of my makeup finished, and my eyes. Only thing left to do now is my lips, so I'll show you that. So with the lips, I'm going to go in with the deep nude. I really like this colour, and I think with the smoky eye, I think the deep nude would be quite nice. I'm thinking next time I might go for like a bright colour here in the middle, rather than the silver, but we're going to give the deep nude a try. I'll just put the camera down slightly so that you can see a little bit better. As I said, I'm no beauty guru. That is my lip liner on, and now I'm going to go in with the deep nude shade of the lipstick. And all of these shades have a scent to them. not unlike vanilla actually. I think it is actually, might actually be a vanilla scent. They do smell really, really good. As you can see, this is the deep nude. At the minute it's still shiny, it hasn't set yet. Give it a few seconds and it'll dry out. And then we'll do the kiss test. But I absolutely love this shade. So there you have it. That is the overall look. I've gone with the smoky eye, the nude lip, and I think actually overall that makeup is actually pretty good. Very, very upset that they don't have foundation, which would be pretty handy if you haven't got one and you're looking for a full set. But I'm quite happy with it. I think it looks pretty good. Like I said, I'm no expert on makeup, so it might not be the best, but yeah, I quite like it. So that's my first ever makeup video / tutorial kind of. If you liked it, subscribe. Tell me in the comments down below if you liked it, if you want me to make another one, or if you have any suggestions of a video I can make. Just pop it down in the comments and give a thumbs up to the video, so keep my channel going, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!